beverage of the day. Costa. Costa. Yummy. Okay. We're doing the UCS AT-AT. I have a few big sets that I need to start, but afraid. Fear. So now I'm starting the ATST, sorry. ATST. And then I'm not gonna finish it today. I'm not gonna put that on myself. So we'll see if we need to do 1 or 2 or 3 streams for it. Got some shots from the movie. All-terrain scout transport. I do not have the previous version, so that's why I got the new version. There's 14 bags, so we'll see if we can do 7. But I'm also fine with splitting it into 3. And we got paper bags again. Not sure how I feel about paper bags. Not because it's paper, it's because the parts keep getting stuck in the paper. I have to double check, but oh good. This is a long instruction book. Okay. Kind of tired today, so I don't know. Maybe I won't even get to half of it. I feel like I'm gonna. How do I usually do it? I forgot. Okay. I'm so happy though. Yesterday got Minesweeper under 200. I still think even though I said I knew I need to work on pattern recognition, I was still mostly solving it with logic. Which, I mean, that's fine, I think. I think even with logic, like, what you do it enough times, it will become pattern recognition, I think. So I think I'm just gonna just put enough hours in it. I think it will be fine. I have some notes on the patterns I need to work on. But I feel like once I really get into, like, once I start a game, it all goes out of my mind. I start still essentially just doing logic. But the thing with logic is, like, as you do enough, it becomes pattern recognition. I mean, some of the more common ones has become instinct, sort of, but that started with logic, so. But I do have notes on some patterns that I can work on, but I just need to actually use them. Like, this is really bad notes. The 1221 and 121 is more common, and I think it's, well, 1221, I don't recall. See, the thing is, I have these patterns that I wrote down I didn't work on, and then I don't use it. And another thing is, that I just keep, like, I get stuck. I don't know why. I just get stuck, even though I shouldn't. Like, there's enough to solve the part that I'm getting stuck. But then I get stuck, and then I waste time on it, and then I come back later and I can solve. So I think I just need to either pay more attention, or there's other parts that I can solve I shouldn't. I really just should not be spending too much time that is not working for me at that moment. I don't know. I'm not a pro. And I also did not look up. Much. Oh. This. But now I'm addicted, and well, it's not an addiction if I can stop. That's how that works, right? I do want to stream more Minesweeper. But I have other games that I gotta play. Too many games to play. Speaking of addiction. New anime on Netflix. Yani Neko. It's so cute when the transition they go Yani Neko. Chainsmoker Cat. I saw some posts about it, about how gross it is. Only the first episode is out, so I can't report on the entire thing. But I did watch the first episode because I was curious. Typically, I prefer to binge the entire series because my memory is so bad. If I watch it if I watch an episode and then a week later, I'm gonna forget what happened. So that is why. I don't mind waiting, but my brain cannot. My brain is not big enough to remember what had happened. But yeah, I heard so much about it. Curious. So I watched the first episode. Yes, it is. Oh, drop the piece. It is very well. It is very gross. Yes, I guess can't really deny that. It is. It's like a comedy about a cat that chain smokes, as the title entails. All she cares about is smoking and buying cigarettes. And it's gross. Because there's a lot of like poop and vomit and gross stuff in it. Cause I don't know. I don't smoke, so I don't know anything. Is that realistic? Someone tell me. Someone needs to tell me if that chain smoker cat is realistic life of a chain smoker. But there's a scene where she was opening a new pack of cigarette and they all flew out and like landed on some poop. And she ended up picking it up from the poop. Yeah, she did, right? Pick up from the poop to smoke it because she will not let any cigarette go to waste. And I saw some like posts on like Japanese viewers think it's too gross to watch or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if it's true. Well, it's on the internet, so it must be true. But I think it's funny. I think the comedy hit. I don't think it's too gross for me personally. I think my tolerance is... Well, first, I don't think it's that gross. I think it's being exaggerated. And second, I think my tolerance is... And I do think it's kind of funny. It's just like very lighthearted. Well, I feel like as the series go on, it's gonna be like something more... Something... There's gonna be... I feel like there's gonna be a main main plot. Main plot and like there's gonna be probably something with the sister, I bet. That's gonna be like more heartwarming. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. All I did is watch the first episode. And the other new series on Netflix is... What is it called? I don't know what it's called in English. 20世纪什么？20世纪电器目录，20世纪电器目录。 Niju Seiki Denki Mokuroku. 20th century. I think it's 20th century electricity catalog. Is that what it is? I don't know. But it also just came out, so it only has one episode. It's about the catalog, obviously. And it's set in like kind of the past, in the age of steam power. And well, it just came out, so only the first episode, not a lot, but something to do with like electricity power versus steam power. So I think there's like a monopoly on the steam power, and there's this little boy who is kind of like an inventor. I don't know, question mark. That uses electricity power. So something like that. I don't know what is gonna happen because I have no idea. I just saw it on Netflix and I was like, interesting. I will watch it. So I will report back once the series is done, I think. But what else did I watch? What else did I watch? I watched. Oh, okay. I watched a series and I feel like I watched something else. Definitely watched a movie. Oh, I remember what I watched. Okay, let's talk about the series first. It is brand new on Netflix. What again? I didn't watch it in English. Gasningen. Gasman. 气体人1号. Well, Gasman is not, doesn't sound good. Oh, vapor. Human vapor, I think. Because the Japanese is Gasningen. And I always keep thinking direct translate Gasman. Which I feel like has the other connotation, so probably vapor is a better translation. But the Chinese translation is Vapor Man the First, which I think that was what the original is, because I think this is a kind of a rework on a old movie, I think. So the Chinese translation is the same as the first movie. Oh, but before I get into Vapor Man, Zuzu is here for the paper bags again. Before I get into Vaporman, so there's a lot of famous actors in it, or I'm sure they're famous, but I don't really look into actors or actresses. So all I do is I recognize them from stuff that I have watched before, but I have no idea who they are. So there are a few that I recognize, including the main actress. I want to talk about the main actress because the last series that I watched with her in it is is something that I watched a while ago, but I really Zuzu is loving the paper bag. Is I don't know, again, this is a recurring theme. I don't know what the English is called, but I think it's just same as the Japanese Asura. Asura? Asura. Am I doing this right? Is this right? Oh, it's like this. Asura. It's sort of like a drama slash comedy kind of, but it's like family drama. And the main character is the main actress from Paperman. That's where I recognize her from. But Asura is about, it's a sister family, a family, with four sisters, and about the main character discovering that their father is cheating on the mother, and she brought it to the family of she brought it to the sisters to, you know, kind of like, what are we gonna do kind of thing. And they're all grown, so like this was like, you know, this is like a kind of like a, I guess, a shock at first, but then you kind of learn, and then you learn the family, you know, some stuff within the family, and then the story kind of follows how they move on to address this relationship that the father has outside of their family. And I really love it because so like most part of it, obviously it's a drama, so there's gonna be like dramatic parts. There's gonna be like parts that makes you tear up, you know, obviously, but I think most of it is pretty lighthearted and like in a comedic way. And I really do, I love the comedy aspect of it. I think all four of the sisters, all of the actresses, did a great job. I think they all deliver the comedy portion very well. And obviously, aside from the affair, it also discusses, you know, kind of the dynamic between the four sisters. So, yeah, I think that the four of them did a great job. And then it's also very realistic. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you know, just kind of how the entire plot unfolds is very realistic. You know, how they actually handle the affair and all that stuff, and the kind of the aftermath of it. I highly recommend. Highly recommend. Oh, it's wrong place. Wrong placement. Let me look it up what it's actually called in English. It is just called Asuna. Just called Asuna. It's on Netflix. But I just think it's very well written. Very, very well written and very well performed by all of the people involved. For something like you know, kind of family drama type of stuff that can be like, you know, a lot of the times it could be kind of very corny, but I just think this one's very well done. So highly recommend, highly recommend. But Vapor Man, so yeah, so yeah, I recognize the actress from Asura, but Vapor Man, and then the I don't know what his position is actually called, but the police, the main guy from the police police station, police force, like the main guy's the uncle of the main character, or I guess you can call him the uncle. He is from Jimenshi, Tokyo. I think the translation is just Tokyo Swindlers, if I'm not mistaken. Another Netflix film. Another good watch. I talk about it. I don't know. I watched it a while ago, so I don't think I talked about it. But that is about a group of swindlers, as the title suggested. And they do fraud. They pretend that they are selling property, so like real estate. And they will like, it's all very like, it's very interesting because I guess myself, I just haven't heard of this kind of fraud before. And everything is very like planned out, very intricate. And especially towards the end, that one, you're like on the edge of the seat the entire time. So I do think it's like very well written. But they essentially like pretend like they find a property that's kind of abandoned. And oopsie. And back to back to see, like, what is that? That just gets stuck over there. What the hell? Okay, oh, Jimenshi. Yeah, they find properties that are like kind of abandoned, and then they pretend to be the seller. Like they'll hire someone that looks like the actual property owner, and as actors, and then the team kind of like pretends to be the like the agent, and like they will like actually bring people to those property, like just like as if they were the one who owns the property, and like they essentially they like disappear after they get the money, and then you know the buyers will find out afterwards from like applying like kind of like a transition of title, and they will find out like all the paperwork are fake. So they have like, so it involves like forgery, and then also like they need to sometimes need to like pick, like make the well, the forgery including like the documents, like the IDs, obviously when they do the transfer they're gonna ask for the ID, so like do like fake IDs, fake paperwork, all that stuff. And then also involves like hiring of these fake owners. They get like a small cut, obviously. And obviously, and also involves like scouting the place. You gotta find out the owners, the kind of background. But yeah, the police guy, he was one of the swindlers in that series. That's where I recognize him from. But yeah, back to Vapor Man, as we call him. I went into it like really thinking, so like you can tell it's like it's a big budget, like a big budget Netflix series. So I'm not like really expecting anything extraordinary. Like it's gonna have like a certain standard of quality, but I'm not expecting anything outstanding, if I can say that. But obviously being something that new that just came out, looks intriguing enough, the plot. I watched it. And we got like a classic pair of a reporter and a cop. Classic pair. Who has some histories. The two had some history, romantic history, if you will. I guess they don't really go into like, they go into it a little bit, but not like a ton. Like you don't really, like, it will reveal little by little their past. But I guess they kind of just reveal kind of enough. They reveal enough to make sense, to make the plot make sense. But I don't think they went into it as much as they could. Which I'm kind of like debating if it's necessary. I feel like they could have maybe go a little bit more deep into it, because the ending is so, I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but the ending is so like bittersweet kind of ending, that I wish we have connected with the past of the two main characters a little bit more there. So that's why I'm kind of debating. But then again, they really only reveal what is necessary. So maybe that is a good thing too. I don't know. But the plot revolves around the Vapor Man, of course. He appears out of nowhere, kills someone, and everyone is shocked because it's kind of it's It's kind of it's sci-fi. Well, not kind of. It's sci-fi. So it's like set in the present world, kind of, but with a little sci-fi twist to it. So we got the Vapor Man. He turns into vapor, obviously. He turns into vapor so he can like actually go into your body through your holes. And then, well, the first murder that he did, well, first on camera, is the, like, he like essentially went into the, like, through the nose and into the lungs and exploded them from inside. So started with that murder. So everyone's like, oh, what is that? And then quickly reveal like this person that turns in, is like a real person, like in flesh, that can turn into vapor. So like bullets can kill it. You know, it's strong. It can attack you from the inside. And it can appear out of nowhere. So like, you know, kind of like a superpower. And then he reveals kind of his motives. And it's something that people have never heard. So like the reporter is the main character, so we follow the reporter and start digging into so he refers to this like organization, kind of. It's called the White Center. So you start digging into it, you start revealing more. It turns out the White Center is sort of like a government project that was there was a meteor that had fallen, and it was a government as a cleanup project. That they kind of did it. Well, it's like on the outside they look like a charity kind of organization, but actually they have all these people do the cleanup, and they also have document that clearly all these stuff that they're cleaning up is hazardous, and people have many people have died from it. And so you kind of start following the protagonist. You kind of start also digging into it and finding out how each person that is getting killed is involved. And then the other plot line is with a pair of siblings, a brother, older brother, and a younger sister. I think that is also kind of interesting. They are streamers. Where's this? That are like kind of aspiring to have, like kind of aspiring to be famous. And they do like horror stuff. So when the Vapor Man like hit the news, you know, they're like, we gotta find something that will, like, you know, that's what everyone is talking about. But that's what's trending right now. So like, they obviously also want to get on that, you know, hype train. So they accidentally found something that led them to find the Vapor Man, and that's how the two plots collided. You got the reporter chasing the truth behind the White Center and the Vapor Man, and then you got the two sibling streamer who not accidentally but eventually figure out, you know, kind of found the base of the Vapor Man. And you also quickly learn, and this is spoilers by the way, you also quickly learn that the reporter is involved with the Vapor Man. I don't want to go You don't want to reveal too much, but it is revealed pretty early on that she is in with the Vapor. Which I have a question. Like, okay, it's like a big reveal. That, you know, she may be involved with the Vapor Man in the murder. But my question is like, I have a. It's not really like a plot hole, but like, so. And this is like first 2 episodes or something. You know, Vapor Man first came out, and then he's like, meet me at this place, and I will reveal whatever. And everyone went to, so it's a ramen place that he mentioned that he will be at. So like everyone was there, including the police. Everyone is like, oh my god, he's gonna show up. So everyone is kind of waiting at that ramen place. And then it was the reporter that found out that the ramen place of the same name used to be at a different location years ago. So he's actually referring to the old address of that ramen place. But the thing is, like, so okay, so the reporter kind of orchestrated the entire thing, right? And my question is, like, I understand if she's like playing along and be like, oh, I thought it's this, you know, playing along like everyone else, confused, you know, thought he was referring to this place rather than the old address. So I get that, but then there's like, you, because at first you're not, it's not revealed that she was involved. So we see her like kind of talk to the owner of the ramen place and be like, oh, have you guys been here long? And then whatever. And that's how she learned that they actually moved the locations, and then she went into the old address. So if she orchestrated the whole thing, like, why did she have to do that to go to the old address? I don't know. Maybe it just like, maybe it's still just for show, because she had like a, I don't know if it's an assistant or like a coworker with her that works with her kind of throughout the case. So maybe it's for show because he's around. I don't know. It just kind of keeps falling. This piece keeps falling. I just kind of like, I don't know if there's like any other way that I could maybe look more, that would make more sense that she's in on it, and it would make it natural for her to go to the old address. I don't know, but maybe it's just what it is. Fine. It's just one tiny thing that is on my mind when it was kind of revealed that she is in on the thing, on the murders. But like, again, it's kind of like kind of blockbuster-y. Obviously like high budget, special effects are very well done, plot is not bad. So like throughout the series, I'm just like, you know, obviously just, you know, they keep you hooked on it. Very suspenseful. That's effective. But I'm just like, it's just like an average amount of entertainment, average amount of enjoying this kind of production. So kind of, I didn't have like much of an expectation, even as I was like kind of watching the series. But but then like towards the very end, especially the ending, it's just kind of so bittersweet. That kind of left me with the left me with the I don't know, just like something to think about. Kind of open-ended, but like also kind of expected. It's like, okay, she's not gonna, you know, not gonna say it, but and also like she told him to not open it, and he did. So like, why? Yeah. I don't know the original, so I can't speak on if it was true to it or not. But just judging the series on its own, I do think it's like sci-fi element good. Even though I don't watch a lot of sci-fi, so I can't speak to that too much. But I think it was very, very well written. Very like interesting plot. I'm sure there's a lot of plot holes, but it's just, you know, it's sci-fi fiction. Effects are well done. I think the emotions are controlled very well, done effectively. And again, lots of big name actors, actresses in it. Yeah, I think, and the ending will kind of leave you a little bit on the inside, not in a bad way, in a good way. I think it's pretty good. How will I rate it? Eh? Oh, it's like this. How will I rate it? I think it's definitely a high, kind of a high 3, I would say. Kind of towards a high 3. Probably a 3.8, 3.7 or 3.8, I think. I think 3.8. I'll give it a 3.8. Good. Like, very enjoyable. Very enjoyable throughout, very entertaining. Not much to complain about it if you know, you're not expecting anything, like, out of the ordinary, you know? Very enjoyable. Like, I would recommend if you don't know what to watch. Just came out, so. And the entire series came out at once. I love that. So I don't have to wait. Not that I mind waiting, but I cannot keep up with the plot. I will forget. So I like that, the fact that I could binge it. Is the head? Oh, not the, like the neck section, is it? Oh, we got it. The tire. The tire. Oh, tire and heart. I see. Do I see? Maybe. You put it here. Looks right. Got an extra whip. Zuzu is on the bag. She's not gonna like that I'll be disturbed. It's warm. I like that I don't feel pressure to finish the piece or the set. Because I already know I'm not gonna finish the set. I don't have expectations to finish the set. Not that anyone is pressuring me to finish it. Because my brain can't leave something unfinished. But I already know I'm not gonna finish. Even if I just do 3 bags, I'll be fine. I'll be happy. I think we're doing 1 leg. So that's Vapor Man. The other one that I watched is a movie that came out, I think, a while ago. Well, not like super long time ago. When did it come out? It is 2018. So a while. It's a sci-fi film too. I watched 2 sci-fis this week. It's a movie. It is Taiwanese movie. What's the translation called again? It's 幸福城市. City, I think it's City of Lastings. City of Lastings. You want a direct translation, it's the City of Happiness, but the English translation is City of Last Things. It kind of gives me art housey vibes, even though I know it is not art house film. It also has a lot of big name actors in it too. It's definitely not art house film, but it gave like a little bit of a vibe there. That's kind of the vibe of the film. It is set kind of in the future because it's sci-fi. And you see a little bit of like, you know, whatever kind of future technology that people imagine there to be. Kind of like holographic screens, and people get like what's it called, like chips in their arms, and like you can pay with an kind of implanted chip, but the story goes, and I guess I can spoil this one because it's been out for a while. I still recommend you watch it because it left me feeling a certain way. So the film like starts with the now here, and then it jump back once, and it follows the life of a guy, of the main character, but it's not told in a linear sense. Doing something wrong. like this. It's not told linearly, so you have it tells the story of the now first of this guy, and then it jump back once, tells the kind of why the now is happening. So like a jump back once, and then a jump back again to even even a younger self of the main character. And then at the end, it kind of jumps back again to even younger, but that's like very, very tiny. Kind of like an epilogue, but not like an happens before. But that fourth jump is very, very tiny. Not so the movie start with this guy kind of older in his, I don't know, maybe 60s. And like honestly the vibe that I got from the first part of the film, of the now essentially, is like the guy is super you got a super unhappy main character. He has a wife that is cheating on him. You see him go and like punch the guy that she is cheating with. I guess you can't really call it cheating. I'll talk about it later, but he's unhappily married. Um, he has a daughter that is, can't say leaving him, but is moving out of the country. And she also keeps telling him to get a divorce, which she mentioned that he he's doing this out of spite, kind of, to spite the wife, by not, signing the divorce. But so like that alone, you can tell he is not a happy guy. If you have to keep the marriage if you're keeping your marriage just to spite someone, don't think that is a good thing. Both, yeah, he's like stuck in his marriage, not happy. I think it's good that he still has a relationship with the daughter though. That's good. But the daughter is kind of also like, why just get a divorce and move on. But then she's moving out of the country. So but then, and throughout this like little things here and there, you kind of learn that there's a plot to kill someone. And he does go and kill this person, but you don't really know why. So he goes on to kill this person at a hospital. You don't know why yet. And he's not caught yet, so he went home and saw the guy who the wife is seeing came out of their apartment, and he goes on and kill, well, I don't know if he's dead, but he goes on and attempt murder the guy, the guy that the wife is seeing. So he kind of goes on a killing spree. Again, we don't know why at this point. We just see this super unhappy person that goes on a killing spree. Am I doing this wrong? I'm doing something wrong. Oh, I think this is wrong. Oh. This is wrong. It should be like this. like this, and then here. Like that. And then this goes right here. And then this goes in here. And then this goes in here. That looks good. So the main guy goes on a killing spree. He kills the guy who the wife is seeing, and then he goes home. Have an argument with his wife because the guy, was just here. And kills the wife too. And then so like with the sci-fi world setting, like everyone has that chip in their arm and it also records. So while he's killing the wife, it like recorded that it was him who killed the wife. So immediately there's like little robots that it's coming to catch him. And then he jumps out the window and from the building apartment and assume he dies. So yeah. Very depressing. Oh, I guess I totally forgot the main plot. Before he went home, there's this guy who like solicit him to prostitution, essentially. Prostitution. And he was like showing him like, oh, I have these girls and they're flipping through a tablet or whatever. And suddenly the main guy, he was like, stop. And there's this foreign girl that caught his attention and he's like, I want to see this one. And he pays and he goes, and we don't know why, but we don't know the exact reason, but he goes on and tells that sex worker that she looks a lot like someone he used to know, and that's why he didn't go there for sex, but that's why he went there. So we learned that there's this past kind of with a girl, but we don't know what yet. Okay. Oh, it's like this. Huh? Am I crazy? Like this? Oh yeah, okay, it's like that. So that's the end of the first section of the now. And then we jump back once to kind of like maybe 20s, I'm gonna guess. 20s. When his daughter is just like kind of a little kid. And we that section of the plot, we follow him as he discover his wife's first affair. He used to be a police, and one time he went out like he and a partner went out like I guess patrolling or something, and then the guy's like, "Go give your wife a surprise." Um, and so he went home and found out that uh she was having sex with a coworker of his. Um, and I think at that point he was still new, so like everyone is kind of his senior. So a senior of his is cheating. His wife is cheating on with the coworker, with his coworker. Am I doing this right? Yeah. So this plot follows him, his discovery of that. And prior to this, he had kind of arrested a shoplifter, who we will find out is this shoplifter, this foreigner shoplifter that he arrested, is the one that looks like the prostitute that he bought time with. So now we have the two main characters, and how they met. Well, he met her by arresting. But then he goes on and find out about the affair. And so he's like kind of ran away from home, and like at the middle of the night, and like, kind of at that stage of like, don't know what to do. And then he saw the shoplifter, the foreigner, again, shoplifting. And he's like, in that mood of, I don't really care about anymore, even though he's the police. He's like, I don't give a fuck. And they make a little connection. The girl like brought him to a party or whatever, all that stuff. And they have sex. One night, kind of one night stand, because it is just one night. I guess so. One night stand. Huh? Oh my god, I did it wrong again. So yeah, they met, had like time of their life for that one night. And he's like, let's run away. And she's like, okay. And I'm guessing he was going to go back to the station to quit his job. That's what I'm guessing, because the girl is in a taxi, like waiting outside. So like once he found, like before this, once he found out like his coworker is having an affair with his wife, so that coworker, kind of, they don't go too much into it, but they are doing something shady, for money. And they keep wanting to get the guy on it too, but he's, he's still on, just fresh, so he's like, no, I gotta do the right thing, so he did not join. But he knows about it, and that coworker, the one that cheated with his wife, the coworker has like a stash of cash in his locker, and so once he found out about the affair, he like went in, like threw all the cash that he had in his locker like out, and made a whole scene about it. And kind of, I guess as a revenge kind of thing, they planted a stack of cash in his locker. And so when he returned to the station, with the girl waiting outside, all the other officers kind of ganged up on him and essentially had him be the scapegoat for this, I guess, whatever corrupt thing is going on in the police force. And he found out like pretty much everyone, including his, I guess, superior, is in on the whole thing too. So he ended up taking the blame for whatever corrupt thing is going on. So his life is just like ruined. His life is ruined, out of no fault of his own. And the girl, because once he went back into the station, he got arrested for the crime that, he did not do. But the girl was still outside waiting, and so he never came out, so the girl just left, and, we can infer that they never seen each other again. Because you have that plot earlier that he thought that sex worker was the girl. Which, by the way, I don't really think they look alike. But maybe, they're both foreigners. Yeah. So that's the second plot. It's kind of like the first jump, so the second section. It's kind of like the worst day of his life, I guess. Or maybe, if you count meeting that girl, maybe it's the worst and the best day of his life. But, oh, and the guy that the wife cheated on, with, you will find out that he is the guy that the main character killed at the beginning of the film. So he was kind of like on a revenge spree. Like once you finish the second section of the plot, you will kind of learn that the first section, what he was doing is all like a revenge thing on everyone that had done him wrong in the past. So we kind of get an insight into why he was doing what he was doing in the first section. And then we jump back once again to his kind of like teenage years. I'm guessing high school years. But the plot starts with, and this will be spoiling it, following her mom. So her mom, it doesn't go into detail what her mom does, but is apparently involved with something criminal. She gets arrested. She gets arrested, and then, she's at the station. The main character gets arrested for stealing or trying to steal a motorcycle. Gets arrested. They meet at the police station, and we find out that so we find out that the mom had abandoned the kid at a very young age. So at first we did not know that this was the mom. We did not know their relationship. We just know that, two characters met at the police station. And as they talk, as they converse, the mom saw, I think it's like a birthmark on his neck. Because there was a little connection about birthmarks. He was talking about he was talking to his daughter about getting rid of birthmark, and she's like, "How am I gonna recognize you if you get into some trouble or something?" And she was like, "Come on, we have like all the implants now, like the chips. You can tell who I am by the chip that's in my arm. So regardless of how I change my appearance, it doesn't matter." So there was that discussion. So it's a little callback on that. But the mom recognized the boy, by a birthmark on his like neck, I think. And so like she asked him for his name, and then she realized that's his son. That's her son. and the son is like, "You're not my mom. My mom left me, abandoned me. She's dead." You know, he kind of refused to believe that um that's the mom, and you know, him being a kid and not knowing why the mom abandoned, and you can tell like clearly the mom, you know, even though she did do bad things, that she still loved him very much. You can tell the kid has mixed feelings about it. You know, he says that he hates his mom, but obviously there's still some connection and emotions there. Um, and they spend a night at the police station, right? And morning comes. They get taken into separate cars, I'm guessing to get booked or whatever. So they leave in separate cars. The son is still mad at the mom. And two cars, right? They sit in two separate cars. They stop at a red light. And so the two cars are next to each other. They look at each other through the window. Very emotional scene. And someone on a motorcycle comes by the car that the mom was in and pulls out a gun and kills the mom right in front of the son's face. You know, like I said, the mom was... Oh, camera frozen. Wait 1 second. Fix this camera real quick. Why is it not focusing? Okay. Where is I? Yeah, the mom was involved in whatever criminal stuff, so... And, like, according to what she said, she was back for a wedding, and that's how the police caught her, because I guess she was on the run or whatever. And she was back in town, that's how she was caught. And... Guessing she has a lot of enemies. And they killed her. And they killed her right in front of the son's face. And it kind of ends with the son like running out of the car and calling out to the mom. Very sad. And you know, that's just kind of like... So like the first jump in timeline kind of directly explain his actions for the first section. But then the second jump kind of goes deeper. You know, plot-wise, you don't need the third section to explain what he did, you know, now. Or I guess he was what he was doing now. You don't need the third section to explain what he was doing now. But the third section, you know, the plot with the mom, like, explains kind of who he is as a person now and why, or how he became that person now. Even not even just in now, but also the middle section of like his 20s. So that kind of goes into building of a character, I guess. And then the fourth jump is really like a tiny, just like a minute scene of his infant years with his mom, which is a memory that the mom brought up at the police station with the son of him like on a swing, you know. So that's a little like nice closure. But you get a kind of three snippets of different three snippets of this guy's life of in different stages, and kind of all his like critical turning points of his life, you can say. Interesting storytelling, because at first I knew, like, just by reading the synopsis, I knew there was going to be like some sort of reverse storytelling, jumping in timeline and that stuff. But I thought, because at first he was like buying a gun because he was plotting that murder of that guy. So at first I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a kind of a crime mystery kind of film. But then it really is not. It's mainly sci-fi, but really just about, you know, this guy's life. Very depressing life too. Very, very depressing. Like, for real, like that. After watching it that night and the next morning, that night and the next morning, I was like, man, very depressed. Yeah, I guess highly recommend, but you have to Hmm? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you have to be prepared going into, just emotionally prepared. You have to be emotionally prepared. Because if you want something happy, this is not that. Sometimes, like, I knew a film is going to be depressed, so like you have to mentally prepare for it. So that's a warning. You're gonna watch this City of Last Things. It's very good, but you gotta be prepared to be depressed. This one, I think, so it's a very simple film. Like, it's just this guy's life, right? Even though it's very dramatic, very unfortunate, guy's worst, very, very not fun life, but it's very simple plot. It's very, like, it's very raw. The texture too, the texture. I love the texture because even though, like, it's a modern film, right? 2018. Not brand new, but it's modern film. Plus, it's like kind of it's exploring a time in the future, but it kept that texture of like kind of a film like an actual film texture. And like not a ton of editing or special effects or any of that stuff. That storytelling kind of gives like just very simple, very straightforward, very simple. Which I think is like big contrast with the sci-fi and the futuristic kind of theme. So I think that was really interesting. That choice to do that. And I think just the way it left me feel, even though I don't think I can verbalize it very well, means that it was well done. Like, you know, if the story wasn't told effectively, it's not gonna affect how you feel that much. So just because of that, I think it's gonna, I think it's gonna be a 4. I did not think much of it going into it, but I think I'm gonna give it a 4.1. 4.1, I think. And I think I'm gonna stop here. A good stopping point. I made one, and not even a leg, I made 1 foot. 1 foot. I'll do this probably over 3 streams, 3 or 4. If I do 3 bags at a time, that's 3, 4 streams maybe, which I think is a good thing because I need to stop myself. I need to stop thinking like I need to finish a certain. I need to stop pressuring myself to certain progress. This is like a whole dictionary. It's got so many pages. Well, we'll stop here, and I'm gonna fall asleep. And this weekend, I have more games. I have bought a lot of games because of the sale. And maybe more Minesweeper. I am excited to play more Minesweeper. I have a new goal to beat, and we will keep getting better. And then next Wednesday, I'll pick up this on this set. So, short little stream today, which is good. Good for me. I gotta go do a bunch of stuff. Unfortunately, I wish I could stream and not worry about other things, but life and money, unfortunately. So, yep. All right, I'll be back on Saturday.